Hey everybody, before we jump right into the action, I just wanted to let you know that these things are streamed on Twitch, and if you wanna hang out with me while I'm live, you can follow the channel. Will be the first link in the description. I started to play a rapid, guys. I'm like 1800, and we're gonna be trying out the London system. Let's see what 700 people, I mean 1700 rated people would play in rapid. C5 mainline, going for the Fury, gonna be playing with Knight BD2. Instead of this kind of move that everyone tends to play, that's just an inaccuracy in view of Queen B6 and Black gets a good position. So Knight E2, idea is that now if they do that, we have DC. So let's see. Otherwise, if they don't Queen B6, we kind of play it normal. Expect when they go Bishop F5. Because now we could still try to play C3 and get into, let's say, more normal lines, but you have a very nice move in this position that you can use. Because here, if they want to get into these lines, precise way would be to take and go Bishop to F5. But in this fashion, you can actually go DC5. And the idea behind it is the fact that on E6, we have strong move Knight D4. Hitting this and threatening the very deadly pin with Bishop B5. So actually most beginners play Bishop back in this position. They're afraid to allow this doubling of pawns, which is actually quite playable for Black. It's a very computerish line, and if they know how to play it well, the game could get pretty close to equal. We have a lot of analysis about that position in the course. But on Bishop G6, now this is just completely winning for White after Bishop to B5 move. Rook C8 kind of only move, but then we can support the pawn, that's best. Can even go for knight captures and bishop a6, winning exchange, but this is even stronger. They usually play bishop e7 and we take there with bishop a6. Some people also make the move e5 in this position, but we can just take it because the knight is pinned. And also I think in the past I've run against a6, where you can take intermezzo and then pick up the pawn without winning position. So let's see if it's gonna be anything of that. In case of queen d7, I'm planning to do knight f3 and then knight e5. And yeah, it's bishop e7. Just go for the simple knight capture, followed by bishop to a6. The rook has no squares, only a8 because b8 covered by the bishop. And then we have bishop b7, trapping it, also attacking the pawn. Just add countless wins with this pattern. Just very easy line, and another one of the perks of having used that move order with knight bd2 earlier over c3, because if they do these lines with the inaccurate bishop f5, you have this dc that's working really well. And probably most of your opponents will play this line when they step back and they are lost, instead of allowing the double pawns there by recapturing on c5. So yeah, now black simply loses the rook. We'll just need to be patient and convert this, basically. We'll do like, yeah, don't even have to rush with takes, but we could do it. Let's just cash in the exchange, keep it very simple. Could have castled as well because the rook was not threatening to escape. And okay, just get ourselves castled. Then could play knight b3, knight a5, knight b3, knight e4. Actually, funny trap I ran against online. I think might have been somewhere like here. And the guy found a trap against me. I think he went maybe knight e4. Ended up taking. I took on c, but he hit me with some weird h5, and I wasn't looking at the screen because I was like, we win the exchange, we win. And then he somehow trapped my bishop, but doesn't seem to be the case in this game. So I sometimes, okay, I think I managed to win that game on my main account, but I definitely gave him too much counterplay there. So opponent just played a5 in this position, trying to undermine my pawns. So this would be pretty bad because he can just take and my pawns are pretty weak. Maybe pretty bad would be a little bit too much to say because we still keep that A pawn, which is actually pretty advanced. Even though I would maybe just try to keep the pawns protecting each other. Something like A3. I think that's easier. They take, we take. Not a huge fan of C3. Maybe it's fine, but it's allowing bishop D3. Maybe there's simply rook E1 and there was not really something to be afraid of. So maybe A3 could be a little bit inaccurate. That was just my thinking process though. I felt that maybe we don't have to allow that. Bit annoying it will be when they play queen b7 because we need to protect b4. And I was thinking I could do that with rook b1. So he's like preparing this move as well. Maybe e5 push. So not sure. Maybe just knight b3 hitting that. This could be an idea. Also, prophylactic move is not bad in case they go e5. Also, rook b1 not bad. Prophylactic move protecting. Let's just do rook b1, having everything protected. Feels kinda nice. e5, just step back. Still have these ideas to bring the knight around. And by the way, guys, I think on Friday we're gonna have a stream with Alessia. So that is gonna be, I think like 2 p.m. Central European time or something like that. That means basically 9 hours earlier from now. So it's definitely not US friendly, but that's what we agreed on. So we're gonna be streaming on her channel. We're gonna do a little London challenge, and we might stream here as well, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll see if I can get the stream running for you. Queen a6, just sort of a developing move, let's say. Now I would think about something like bishop d6, trying to exchange pieces, but the problem in that line is the fact that he can take, and then my pawn is gonna be a bit vulnerable. So here we could maybe go for a trap, because if they take, the knight will now remain undefended. But I don't think that's like necessary. I think way cleaner is something like knight b3. Also bishop c7, not stupid. Getting the bishop to a5 and could be supporting the pawns. I think it's a bit too sophisticated though. Thinking to just play knight b3. Attacking the pawn. Way more concrete and natural, I would say. Expecting AB, some kind of e5, bishop g3, and maybe queen c4 from my opponent. And then in that position, we have maybe knight a5. Takes with... Okay, so he does it immediately, and now the idea is that after we take, I thought there should be at least this move intermediate, and bishop b1 can take with check. He's forced, we take on b1, and we're having one rook, one knight, and the bishop, and he only has one rook and a knight. We're gonna be having the extra piece, plus keep these connected passers, which are pretty insane if you'd ask me. So yeah, taking is kind of the only move. Like if he just goes back, well, maybe that's a better defense to be honest, because the endgame is pretty straightforward and easily winning for me. So I think it's better for him to try to protect that. C6 pawn, he manages to find a way. Now I'm considering c4, dc, and then queen d7, bishop b1, rook b1, and we're just up a piece there. So I think that's pretty good. Now maybe queen a6 could be best, but maybe just cd, if bishop b1, even for when d6. Probably just leading to a crashing endgame. Now, again, maybe best could be queen a6, but I kind of doubt that he'll find it. Yeah, so dc, but queen d7, and remember we're up the exchange, and now we're taking two pieces for the rook. which means we're gonna be having the extra piece. So can do this. Bishop's under attack. We do rook takes, same thing. We could do this maybe, but then queen c6 is kind of game. I think this is simplest, even though the other one was really fine as well. And yeah, not really too much counterplay you could really hope for. Like c3, just pick up the bishop and yeah, so he's trying this. If I take, he wants the back ranker. That's a nice idea, but there's queen c6, which is just forcing queens off because both of these pieces are under attack. And when you exchange queens while having the extra piece, it will most of the times give you a free win. That's one of the most effective strategies that you can use when you're having the extra material. Just exchange queens, and the end games are very easy to win. So basically, if the defensive side decides to trade queens, it's similar to resignation most of the times. Okay, my opponent asked in the chat if I'm an IM and said I'm good at this game. He is very kind. Friendly people in the pool, but not sure if would have been the same if I had my title showed off. But I would assume so. Just g4, making a loft. I want to take this without allowing a checkmate. Oh, he just resigned. Alright. I think I can go. You see, guys, I climbed like 80 points. Told you I'd never play this. Told you I've actually haven't played this the rapid time control before. Hey everybody, thanks a lot for making it this far into the video. And if you're interested in checking out my London system course, will be the first link in description. So thanks again, and I'll see you around on the channel. Take care.